Hello, friends and colleagues at the Global Sourcing Council. I'm delighted to be able to talk to you today about a great new initiative that we're about to launch. It's called the $500 Million Challenge, and it's our call to action on sustainability and social impact. I'll explain to you in just a few minutes exactly how the challenge works, but essentially it's simple. What we're asking you to do is make a specific budgetary allocation towards your organisation's current and future planned activities that will support the United Nations Social Development Goals. But first, how did we get here? From its very inception, the Global Sourcing Council has been unified around a shared belief. And here I'll borrow the well-known words from the famous anthropologist Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I consider myself lucky and privileged to have collaborated at the GSC in however small and modest a way over the last decade with some fabulous, thoughtful and committed citizens. Our global sourcing vision is to transform the world by empowering organisations to operate responsibly in pursuing profit with purpose. Our community has swelled and is no longer as small as it used to be, and our journey has taken us from meetings in our homes to being able to host events at the United Nations, at consulates, at universities, and in corporate headquarters around the world. But here's what's really exciting. Citizens everywhere and their governments, institutions, and industry sectors grasp the sustainability imperative as never before in our history. In our troubled and imperfect world, we are all now global citizens. So, how thoughtful will we be? To what and how passionately will we be committed? These are our human challenges and societal goals, and the $500 Million Challenge is an explicit step by the Global Sourcing Council to encourage and inspire businesses to rise to meet them. So it's been almost a year, the 25th of September 2015, that world leaders made an unprecedented and quite stunningly thoughtful commitment to people everywhere and to our planet by formally subscribing to the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The 17 Social Development Goals are at the core of this agenda. These SDGs represent a brave and a bold view of what countries, companies, and citizens can achieve together to protect and improve life on Earth. You'll find detailed information about the SDGs on this website. Those of you familiar with them will, of course, recognise that they are hugely ambitious. But the future of our planet and all its living populations can merit nothing less. So these are the highest aspirations of which humanity is capable, and we should all be intensely motivated and energised by the possibilities they represent to improve the conditions in this world we inhabit. In a commercial context, of course, and we are talking about business here, the goals need to be translated into viable and measurable action. Our leadership team here at the Global Sourcing Council has already collaborated with experts on the hard work of interpreting the many ways that for-profit businesses can implement the 17 SDGs, all or some of them, into their strategic narrative. Of course, there's abundant literature widely available on the SDGs, and we expect that the opportunities for businesses to weave these principles and outcomes into their strategic narratives will simply continue to evolve. And we intend to continue to share with you regular updates on insights and learning that this developing dialogue between business and the SDGs affords us. One of the benefits of our $500 million challenge will be an opportunity to build a platform whereby participants and our global readership can learn from the lessons and journeys of those organisations already committed to bringing the underpinning values of the SDGs to life. But for our present context right now, it's worth just touching briefly on the central themes that inform the 17 SDGs. Of course, it's about people. It's about equality and access to opportunity, with a very, very heavy emphasis on gender equality. It is about our planet and making the future of our planet something that we all commit to protect and preserve. Prosperity matters too. Economic opportunity is a vital foothold and human right in lifting societies out of the burden and heartbreak of poverty. And all of this, of course, contributes to peace in societies. And so our battle is nothing less than individually and collectively to collaborate to change the world. And you know, the GSC's most important asset after almost 10 years is its diverse and inclusive community. And that is each and every one of you. And it's you whose participation and influence I want to call upon today in connection with our $500 million challenge. Our ambition with the challenge is to galvanise our community around the vital and essential contribution that businesses can make to support and implement the United Nations 2030 Agenda. As most of you will know, the 2030 Agenda builds on the achievements of the Millennium Goals. However, our focus in the challenge is on those 17 Sustainable Development Goals and the underpinning 169 targets. Raising global awareness and creating impetus for commercial enterprises to adopt as central to their business proposition the SDGs is what motivates us here. We believe, and have said many times, that businesses can and will do good by doing good. And we invite companies from around the world to participate in this $500 million challenge. So here is how you join. You will find the application form on our website under the heading, surprisingly enough, $500 million challenge. As I said earlier, you make a pledge, a formal pledge, to make specific budgetary allocations towards your organisation's activity that align with and promote one or more of the social development goals. Now, it doesn't matter the financial size of your individual commitment. Our objective here is to work together as a collective of thought leaders in the global sourcing community, and we want to achieve together that target of $500 million committed to support the Sustainable Development Goals a year from now, on the second anniversary of the adoption of the goals on the 25th of September last year. So that gives us time to work together, to share best practices, to learn and exchange lessons in order to really give a big kickstart to the journey of integrating very important social development goals into leading business practices. Now, partnership will be key to this, and our commitment as the Global Sourcing Council is to partner with you in our endeavour to integrate SDGs. In our globalised world, we know that exceptional organisations constantly strive and admittedly occasionally struggle to construct socially and environmentally responsible global operations. Our challenge invites you as participants to demonstrate and share the variety of ways in which you are embedding the SDGs strategically and tactically into your business. And our promise to you is to honour that commitment and give it the highest possible visibility throughout our community. We believe that you will benefit not only your current stakeholders, but more crucially, the stakeholders of tomorrow by making this commitment. So we ask you, join in partnership with us in the spirit of the SDGs to inspire more companies to embrace them in their business, to enlighten the commercial world on the business relevance of SDGs, and to showcase best practices in how these initiatives can transform and unite enterprises, build loyalty, promote corporate integrity. And as part of this, we want to be sure that we can demonstrate and measure your success and prove with data sets that we intend to develop, with stories, with your contributions of videos or other accounts to the positive impact that can be achieved by for-profit organisations when they embrace important purpose. So we hope you'll help us build the $500 million challenge into a platform for catalysing action and for realising the implementation of SDGs over the course of the year and of course over many continents throughout the world. Mark Twain gave us the wonderful quotation, "Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest." We want to be part of the movement of gratifying people by demonstrating the value of doing the right thing. Now, Winston Churchill rather cheekily said of Americans that Americans always do the right thing when they have exhausted every other possibility. I'm not going to subscribe to Winston Churchill's rather cheeky criticism of Americans, but what I will take and extract from that statement is this plea to all of you. We've tried every other way of industrial practice. We've tried other solutions to the problems of peace, prosperity, injustice and discrimination. We now have this extraordinary opportunity because of the brave and bold aspirations of the United Nations commitment to get it right, to do the right thing for the right reasons. And that's what we're inviting you to showcase as you participate in our $500 million challenge. $500 million is a big number, but what's much more important than the number is the size of the impact that we make. I know you've all heard me say it before, but we all change the world. The only question is how much and how well. At the Global Sourcing Council, we're looking forward to hearing about your answers to that question. Thank you, and join with us in making this challenge a reality.